All right. Looks like most people are filed in at this point. So we're going to go and get started. Today, we are going to be going over what is to come from the Reliance Financial Partners family in 2026. This is going to be a relatively short presentation. I don't anticipate going over 15 or 20 minutes, and then we can get you all back to your day. I know everybody's super busy here going into Christmas next week and the rest of the holiday season. But before we jump in, if you haven't had the opportunity to meet me, my name is Zach Holcomb. I'm the Director of Business Development here at Reliance Financial Partners. I have been full time with the team for around 3 months now, but was previously working fractionally with Reliance about a year prior to that. I've had the opportunity to meet so many of you in person, and if you haven't had the opportunity to meet me yet, looking forward to seeing you in person in 2026, but also excited to meet you virtually today. Again, we are going to keep this short. I do want some participation today, though. So if you have questions about anything we're going over today, please drop your questions in the chat. I will get to your questions at the end, plus follow up with you after as needed. All right. We're going to start things off on a fun note. I love this picture because it's humble beginnings from our founders, Dana and Tyler Dunkelberger. Jokingly, they were telling me before this, they were like, "Wow, this picture looks like it was taken yesterday," but it was all the way back in 2012, which is hard to believe. 13 years ago, and we're happy to say Reliance looks a little bit different these days, right? Our team has evolved from 2 to 19 employees, including our investment and advanced planning team since 2012, with two more employees on the way to be joining our team by the start of 2026. As our client family grows, so does our ability to be able to serve our clients at a higher level. So, just to briefly recap before we get into 2026 and what that's going to look like, the question we're often asked the most is, what makes Reliance different, or what does Reliance do for their clients? And the simplest way I can answer that is what we really do is we help clients go deep across the five key worlds of retirement planning, because this is what it takes to build a confident retirement and a great life ahead. We call this plan on purpose, right? These five worlds that we often talk about. So just to briefly recap those: income, where's your paycheck in retirement going to come from, and ensuring it's going to last the rest of your life. Investments, how you're invested and whether your portfolio supports your goals and your risk tolerance. Legacy and estate, making sure your wealth passes according to your wishes smoothly and efficiently. Taxes, right? That's a big one. Managing your tax picture over your whole retirement journey. And then healthcare, planning for healthcare and long-term care so you protect your independence. Now, plan on purpose, it's more than just those five areas, which we're going to tackle here in a little bit. However, this is the financial foundation for what we do for our clients. It's what we talk about the most as a team, and it's what we discuss the most, with our client family. So that leads us into our first item here on what you can expect in 2026. This is something that Dana and Tyler have been working on for a long time, and it's just weeks away from being ready after 16 months of work. We are officially publishing our first authored book titled None Other Than Plan on Purpose: Your Guide to Thinking Bigger and Living Better in Retirement. Now, why did Dana and Tyler decide to write this book? So, for years, our team has seen the same challenges. People arrive at retirement, they've got decades of hard work behind them, but they don't have a clear plan for what comes next. So Dana and Tyler wrote Plan on Purpose to give retirees, pre-retirees, a very simple, approachable, and empowering guide to those five worlds that matter the most, right? What we just talked about: income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and legacy planning. This book allows us to take our entire philosophy, everything we believe in that makes a confident retirement possible, into a resource that our clients can reference, share, and come back to at any time. Now, we spent a lot of time over the past 2 years just looking at different financial and retirement books, and we found that most books that are out there, they really just focus on one area, right? Either maybe investing or Social Security or taxes. Plan on Purpose brings everything that we talk about together into a holistic, easy to understand system. It has real life stories, real situations, real things that we've talked about from all of our clients. And it's written from the perspective of a firm like us that works with retirees face to face every single day. So we're excited to announce that you are all going to be receiving a free digital copy of the book in January. We are also going to have physical copies available in the office. So if you know a friend, a coworker, or a family member that would like a copy, we would love to send them one. We also have an audiobook that is finishing production, hopefully available at the very start of the year here in 2026. Again, more information on all of this is going to be coming very soon, right after the Christmas season. We are super excited for this, and we're even more pumped to share it with all of you. So we are thrilled about this. I can't wait to get it in your hands here right at the turn of the new year. So, secondly, at Reliance, we always believe that retirement success, it's not just about having the strong financial plan, but it's about having a strong life in retirement as well, right? We talk about the five worlds framework financially, that covers the financial foundation. However, our retirees, our clients, they are constantly telling us that they want help navigating the rest of retirement, right? Not just the money aspect, purpose, physical and mental health, relationships, longevity, and meaning and purpose in life. So, our speaker series is our way of helping to meet those needs. It is designed to bring world-class experts, authors, thinkers, and leaders to our community, focusing on topics that help you live your best life in retirement. These events are going to be exclusive to Reliance Financial Partners clients. They're not going to be open to the general public. Don't worry about taking down dates for these yet. You're going to receive plenty of notice via email and text leading up to these. If you do want to take these dates down tentatively right now, that's fine. But again, don't sweat it and scramble to do so if you don't have a pen and paper or your cell phone nearby. So here is what you can expect in the early part of the year. Our first guest speaker is going to be Amy Rambo. She's a travel advisor with Blue Pineapple Travel. This is going to be around how to create a realistic travel budget in retirement. This is going to be January 8th at 1 o'clock, virtual on Zoom, just like this. Amy's going to talk about how you can create memorable travel experiences in retirement without major spending required. She's going to talk about budgeting for travel and perhaps the advantages of potentially working with a travel advisor. She's also going to discuss the best seasons for travel, how you align trips with family events, potentially avoiding the busiest travel seasons, and also how to be safe when traveling domestically and internationally. And I love this one because this is a big topic for a lot of our clients. Our cruise is really worth it. We are so pumped to have Amy join us. Again, more information on how to register for these is going to come right at the turn of the new year. Secondly, I am thrilled about this one in February. Lessons in Leadership, Fear, and Success. This is David Rutherford. He's a former Navy SEAL and CIA instructor with 30 years experience. So during his time in the special operations community, they place a heavy emphasis on resilience, the ability to remain calm and focused during every single type of adversity. David is going to explain how this mindset applies to all setbacks and things we might face in life, especially in retirement. Think things like market downturns, health scares, or unexpected life changes. Retirement is not a finish line, right? It's a new phase in life that requires mental flexibility and the willingness to adapt without losing sight of what matters most. David is probably one of the most amazing speakers I have ever seen. So I know you're all going to be thrilled to see him present next year. This is going to be taking place on Thursday, February 12th, 6:30 p.m. This one is going to be in person in North San Antonio. TBD on location. We're finalizing the details of that as we speak, but you can anticipate that this will be very close to our office on Camp Bullis. Again, we are pumped for this one. Super excited to have David join us in February. In March, we've got Kimberly Verbecki. She is going to be talking about how to take control of your health and age stronger. She's the owner of Avita Wellness and Aesthetics. Kim is going to discuss physical health as the foundation that supports everything in retirement, right? Your independence, your energy, the ability to travel, and maintaining your quality of life, right? She's not going to be focusing on, extreme fitness routines or, unrealistic expectations. She's just going to emphasize how sustainable movement, strength, mobility, and recovery can really impact your life in retirement from a positive perspective, from a physical perspective. So, this is going to be taking place Tuesday, March 31st, 6:30 p.m. This is going to be at her farm at the Cibolo Center for Conservation. This is in Boerne, right off I-10, a little north of Fair Oaks Ranch. This is a must attend for anybody who's tired of feeling, exhausted and they want to improve their physical health in retirement. Kim is awesome. We're super pumped to have her out here in March of the new year. And last one that's tentatively that's on the schedule. Again, more to come. We're going to have one every month. We're just kind of teasing you what to expect at the first part of the year. We've got Colin Stroud. He's the founder of Go Somewhere. He's going to be talking about how you can stop wasting your credit card points. So we see that most people treat credit card points like a nice to have, when in reality, they really are a financial asset. And just like any asset, their real value comes from using them with intention, right? So whether it's a family trip to Hawaii or, a first class seat to Paris, your points can really take you farther if you know how to use them. Colin is an expert in this area. Normally, his consulting on credit card points costs hundreds per hour, but this session is going to be offered for no charge to all Reliance clients. This is going to be taking place on Thursday, April 16th, 1 o'clock, virtual on Zoom. More to come on additional speakers throughout the year. If you have any ideas for guest speakers, any other topics you would like to learn more about, you can reach out to us. We're more than happy to take feedback and recommendations as well. So, really excited to launch our speaker series next year. We've got some, great minds that are going to be joining us, and we know you're going to appreciate hearing from them as well. All right, kind of staying on the topic of education here, monthly financial education webinars. We ran a few of these this year, but excited to bring these back on a monthly basis starting in January. I'm kicking us off in Q1. Wealth advisor Grace Suchi here at Reliance Financial Partners is going to be hosting the Keys to Retirement Planning Success in 2026. Grace is going to share some of the top planning conversations that anyone heading into or already in retirement should be thinking about in 2026. This is going to be live on Zoom, TBD in January, probably in the second or third week. Again, more information to come on that once it is solidified. But again, you will be expecting to receive information on these once a month going forward. Got a couple questions in the chat here. Kim, oh, Medicare specialist would be great. Yeah, absolutely. We're already looking to source somebody who's an expert on that topic. So great idea. Thanks for sharing that. Appreciate it. Again, if you have any questions or ideas, anybody you think we should be bringing in to speak in 2026, drop those ideas in the chat. Would absolutely love to see that. All right, our next item is the Psychology of Retirement movie. We are going to be hosting a private showing of this documentary Tuesday, May 19th, 6:30 p.m. at the Palladium at the Rim. Dana co-produced this film earlier this year. Some of you have already had the opportunity to see this as part of the general public. However, we are going to be hosting a private screening exclusively for our clients. So, the Psychology of Retirement documentary, this goes way beyond numbers, charts, account balances, investments, and really focuses on the human side of retirement, right? We know that financial readiness is absolutely critical when it comes to retirement. But the psychological and the emotional transition is so important as well. So, the goal of this movie is to help retirees understand that, hey, uncertainty, hesitation, and anxiety, these things are very common, but you are not alone in experiencing them. This film is going to explain how you balance those with the financial side of things. Tuesday, May 19th, 6:30 p.m. I know this is far out, but we tentatively got it on the calendar now. Again, you're going to have plenty of notice before we get here, and you'll have plenty of advance notice to get these on your calendar. We do have a question about, are you going to be giving us these notes and info through email? Yes, we will send out a recording of this so you have a recap of all these upcoming events and items. Probably will go out sometime tomorrow morning, not this afternoon, but we will get this recording out to all of you with this information so you can reference back upon it as well. All right, weekly market update newsletter. This is our weekly client newsletter. It's being delivered to your inbox once a week. Most of you are already receiving and reading this, but if you haven't been paying attention to this, I want to make sure this is top of mind. So these are thoughts coming directly from Reliance CEO Dana Dunkelberger. It's not generic market commentary or just recycled news that you could see on CNBC. It is perspective from the person ultimately responsible for our firm's investment philosophy, planning approach, and our client experience, right? So Dana's goal with this is really to focus on a few core topics that our investors and our clients are facing, especially in uncertain or emotional markets, right? So talking about risk and uncertainty, what is actually happening, what matters, and what doesn't, right? How do you tune out the noise? Investor psychology, right? How fear and headlines can influence your decisions, and how do you stay disciplined with the plan that we've put in place? These are very optimistic notes as well, right? A steady long-term view that avoids panic and hype and outside noise in the market. So, really, our goal with these is simple, right? We want you to be confident and intentional when it comes to your plan. When markets are volatile, the biggest risk is often not the market itself, but it's making a reactive decision that pulls you off track. This newsletter each week is just designed to keep you anchored to the long-term strategy and purpose behind your plan, right? Planning is not something you do once, it's a relationship and a process. This weekly note is one way that we can stay connected with you, continue educating, and reinforce the mindset that leads to better outcomes for your planning over time. And lastly, real quick here, one more item. We've got our private client Facebook group. A lot of you are already a part of this, but if you're not, the link to join this is in the signature of every single email newsletter. This is exclusively for Reliance clients. It is just a central place where you can stay connected with our team outside of scheduled meetings and formal communications. Really, the goal of this is simple. It's just to make it easier for you to stay informed and engage without having to dig for information about everything I've just described, right? Upcoming events and experiences. You're going to get regular updates on these being scheduled, educational webinars, special sessions, new resources that we're rolling out. Every single thing in the group is designed to support clarity, confidence, and planning on purpose with you. So, again, everything that we just discussed, you'll find that information in the Facebook group as well. Again, we're going to give you advance notice on all of these things via email, text. So, again, don't worry about scrambling to put these things on your calendar now, unless you're somebody that likes to plan for these things like me, 6 to 7 months in advance. We'll make sure to give you plenty of notice. Again, folks, I appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. I know we had a couple of comments in the chat, but again, if you have any questions, concerns about some of these things that we have on the calendar next year, or you have any recommendations about speakers we should bring or topics that we should be educating you on, not just from the financial perspective, but in those areas I discussed outside of that as well, we absolutely want to hear it. Again, we're going to get this recording out to you. Appreciate all of you being a part of the Reliance Financial Partners family. We're going to be sending this recording out tomorrow afternoon. But again, we hope you all have a great holiday season going into Christmas next week. We're here for you, so don't hesitate to reach out, give us a call, email, text at any time. Appreciate all your time this afternoon. Hope you have a great rest of the day and great holiday season. Thanks, everybody.